morning.
Good morning.
So Dr. Mary's on spring break all this week. And we decided today we would take a little spring break from Daily Dose. So we hope you enjoy this edited down version of episode 92 from November.
It's a good one.
It is a good one, and I think you'll be glad to see it if you saw it the first time. And if you never saw it, then welcome to episode 177 via episode 92. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. So it's Gratitude Tuesday.
Get me mug. You got yours.
And we have a thank you gift that we received that now we want to express gratitude back for. So this was a thank you for thanking me. Now we're thanking you for thanking me for thanking you. So Jonathan Holt.
These are fantastic.
Last week's guest. First of all, Jonathan is one of those people in the world who, if 3 jobs would be busy, well then 6 or 8 jobs could only be better. If you ever needed to wonder if there's value in getting sober, can you be more productive? I say check with Jonathan Holt because he owns the 3 Toasted Frogs in the state. I think they're just in North Dakota. And I did not know this, but he also owns Urban Stampede Coffee Company in Grand Forks.
Oh, that's good.
And he sent us these 2 Mir mugs. You take that, please. A pound of coffee beans. And look at our little Mir mugs. Our sippy cup mugs. They're camping mugs, actually, which is so delightful.
Another thing these can be used for is safely going to an AA meeting so you have a lid on your drink so you don't spill it on the floor.
Oh,
so thank you for that, Jonathan. I bet you were thinking of that when you sent them to me.
That's delightful.
So thank you.
Jonathan, thank you so much for your generosity. I love.
Thank you.
They're really fun. I had no idea you owned a coffee shop, and he referenced in the letter that he was sure that Maz understood the value of good coffee in light of all of the less than good coffee that gets drunk at AA meetings. So that's part of Gratitude Tuesday. But then I got interested, so I was looking at the little stuff that came with the mug. So I had not heard of this brand Mir. I know it's not a brand new company. And actually, now that I've looked into it a little bit, I did know about it, but I didn't know enough to talk about it. So Mir's mission statement is, we exist to empower people for a better future. They're a B Corp, which just in case you want to know what that means, I'm going to read it to you because I thought this was really valuable. Certified B Corporations are businesses that meet the highest standards of verified social and environmental performance, public transparency, and legal accountability to balance profit and purpose. And the reason that we're going to talk a little bit about Mir now, like I'm an expert on them, is because I think I don't think it. I know that's what we are trying to do in the world as well. We exist to empower people for a better future. I would say that's what Daily Dose's main goal is.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And so then I watched the founder give sort of a history video that was incredibly interesting. He's from a clearly pretty affluent family, and so that always shifts how you can start from generosity, which is great because not everybody who's wealthy does, but if you are wealthy and can do that, it's spectacular. But he started this company and almost immediately began thinking about legacy and how he could give back, and he's quite young. He's definitely younger than we are. But his video ended with this idea of, what do you want your legacy to be? And he asked a simple question that he thinks everybody should be asking. And the question is, how can I help? And I really love that because it is at its core the most basic thing that you can ask. You have to follow through with it, but it's a basic human question. If you know someone who is in need, in despair, in distress, struggling with something, without any judgment. All you need to say is, how can I help? And think what a difference that could make in someone's life. So how can we relate this back to sort of the work that you have done and taken from AA? 'Cause I think there's a direct connection.
There's a basic tenet in most human behaviour that you do help. But how you can make a difference in someone's daily life on a daily basis is more tricky. I think it's because it actually requires more work.
Well, it's effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, is it an effort to get sober? Yes. Is it an effort to stay sober? Yes. Is it an effort to help someone achieve the same as you? I guess it is, but by the time you've got that far into sobriety, you almost you're kind of chomping at the bit to go and try it. Because it's payback time. And we've talked about this before. It's a wonderful feeling to be able to try and help someone. Now, when I first started helping people when I was sober, it wasn't very good. I will admit that. I didn't know all the answers. I still don't.
I was going to say, do you now?
I don't. Even my sponsors, I have two, and they're both over 10 years sober. Sometimes they say, well, I was going to ask you for advice.
That's life.
And we ask each other for advice. And I heard this great story once of someone it's called grandfathering. So a guy who'd been sponsoring someone else for like 15 years asked his sponsor for help. So this guy was getting about 40 years of knowledge about how to stay sober. And that's a wonderful thing. It's like, what's this guy's name who just started this?
Yep. Keep talking. I'll find it.
Anyway, this guy told Jana told me this guy's great story about, you know, he was a photographer.
Brian Pape.
Like an action photographer. He
filmed skiing. So he was filming out of helicopters.
So the helicopter had an incident, and he was violently thrown against a tree and broke his thigh bone.
In half.
There's a picture of it right there.
Yeah, it's brutal.
But he basically said, well, I didn't sever my femoral artery, so I'm not going to bleed to death in 10 minutes, but so therefore I'm a tool. I must do something else with my life. And that was his wake-up moment. Your wake-up moment when you're the first time you wake up sober, after you go through detox. He had that moment, and he didn't have to be an addict to do it. So everyone can think about having that kind of moment. It doesn't have to be as drastic as his change
or yours
or mine, but a little. Oh, you know, today I'm going to try and do something.
Yes, we can all be more human. We can all reach out. We can all ask, how can I help? And I love the last thing that Brian and I are best friends, founder of Mir. I love the last thing he says in this video. After he says, what's your legacy? Start with the basic question of how can I help? You will change the world, but you will also change yourself. And I think where you really began to come into your own presence, your own comfort level with every good and bad quality you possess, was when you became a sponsor and you had someone who was looking to you for guidance, not because you had all the answers or because you never needed to worry about yourself, but because you were simply there at every moment with the understanding that your question to this person was, how can I help? And that's unbelievable. Again, it's another one of those pieces where, as someone who has not gone through a program like that, it's kind of easy to be envious of addicts who successfully stay addict-free, because you have such a profound community and such a beautiful network and opportunity to be in service, to be of service, to not be ashamed or afraid to admit that you need help. What if we all did that? But we can all be that person, particularly now. Every single one of us knows at least one person who's in worse shape than we are, And many of us know many, many people who are in much, much worse shape than we are. So how can you think about how you can help? How can you be inspired by Mir, M-I-I-R, that's not going to come into, oh, there it is.
There it is.
M-I-I-R. Go and watch his story and see what you can do. Jonathan, thanks so much
Yes,
for
thank
the
you.
generosity of the gifts, the coffee, the cups. What a fun, fun thing. And now you've sort of sent me on this little meandery path of discovering Mir and all that they are doing right in the world. So go do the thing that you can do that will make a difference for someone else in the world, because you know it will make a difference for you too. Have a good day.
And you. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Good morning.
Good morning.